We're recording?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we're going to be talking about how social media affects teen communication skills. I'm going to be asking you 41 questions, and yeah, this is it. So, how often do you use social media a day?
I use it sporadically throughout the day. Probably just a couple hours a day, 4 or 5 hours maybe.
Alright. Do you enjoy using social media?
Yes.
What phone do you use to use social media?
The Galaxy S5.
Do you personally believe that social media is a positive or negative thing?
Well, it could be both. Positive in the way is, you can always get updates on what your friends are doing and always make friends through social media. But it could also be negative because, the whole cyberbullying deal.
How important is the internet to you?
Well, the internet's a good way for me to, express myself and, not everyone judges you. You always find someone that likes the same things that you do.
How long do you think you could go without using social media?
Social media in general, probably a week or so.
Okay. Do you think it's easier to communicate with people over the internet rather than speaking in person?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because, you could find more things to talk about when you're on the internet. You can always just play games with your friends on the internet, and there's always stuff to talk about while you're playing games with them.
Do you ever talk to strangers on the internet?
Yes.
Do you ever worry that who you're talking to on the internet isn't the person that they say they are?
Yes.
Have you ever been a victim of cyberbullying?
Yeah.
Can you explain?
Well, just mainly people that, don't accept you for who you are. You act a certain way and they disrespect you, but it is what it is.
Do you think that that person or people felt stronger bullying someone behind a screen?
Yes.
Do you think that person would say the same things to your face?
No.
How come?
Well, because, a lot of people think they're bigger and stronger behind a computer screen because you can't actually, reach through the computer screen and hurt them.
Have you ever pretended to be someone else over the internet?
No.
Okay. Do you use text messaging?
Yes.
How many texts on average do you think you send out a day?
I'm not too sure, but I know in the past month I've sent out about 1,000.
1,000 text messages a month?
Yeah.
Do you think people could be obsessed with text messaging?
Yes, very much so.
Is it easier for you to talk to people over text rather than calling them?
Yes, in certain cases.
Like what?
If you're just talking about, something about school or something, it's easier just to text, but if they need to talk to you about something important, it's easier to call.
Do you use the apps Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook?
Yes, just Instagram.
What do you use it for?
Just checking, updates on my friends and seeing what they're doing and stuff like that.
Do you use Instagram to talk to other people?
No.
Do you think you talk more to people on the internet than you do in real life?
Yes.
Would you rather speak to someone on the internet compared to speaking to someone in real life?
No.
So why do you think you talk to people more on the internet if you would rather speak to people in real life?
Well, on the internet, like I said previously, it's easier to talk and express yourself, and people can, accept you for who you are. You're always going to find someone out there that likes the same things that you do.
Have you ever been in a social situation where no one is talking to each other but everyone is on their cell phones?
No.
Have you ever seen that happening in a place before?
Yes.
And do you think that's a problem?
Yeah, because, there's no social part of it going on.
Do you think people should spend more time having real-life conversations compared to internet conversations?
Yes.
Do you think electronic relationships will be more common than real relationships?
Yeah, most likely.
Why?
Well, because you can meet so many people online that you wouldn't normally be able to meet in real life.
Okay. Do you ever feel upset when someone doesn't answer your text message?
No.
Do you think that an unanswered text message could cause problems in a relationship, both friends and romantic?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because let's say you're trying to text, your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and they're not gonna answer you. You're gonna get mad, and you're gonna feel like they're talking like they don't want to talk to you, or yeah.
How important is it to you to text your friends every day?
I text certain people every day, but I don't think it's that important.
Do you think that texting your friends could substitute for hanging out with them?
Yes.
Do you think social media is a big part of the new generation?
Very much.
Why?
Well, because, you know, on social media, like I said, you can meet people and you can always interact with your friends even if they're, like let's say they move away and they move somewhere else. You can always interact with them and see what they're up to.
Do you think texting is a normal way to communicate with others?
Yes.
Do you personally think social media affects your social life?
Yes.
Why?
Well, let's say you only go on social media and you don't interact with anybody. You can it affects you socially. If you talk to them online and you don't talk to them in real life, it could be very awkward talking to them in real life.
Do you think you have a problem talking to people in real life?
No.
Sorry, just typing shit out. Are you obsessed with the internet or social media?
Not social media, but mainly gaming, if it has to.
Hmm. Do you think you could live without it?
Yes.
What do you think is the best part of social media?
It's a difficult question. Um, let's see. Best part about social media. You can. Alright. A good part is that you can. You know, I can't answer this question. I'm not too sure about this question. I'm not too sure how to answer it.
What's your favorite part of social media?
Um, Being able to see updates and being able to follow like famous people and see what they do in their lifetimes and what they do in their free time and stuff like that.
How do you think your everyday life would be without using the internet or social media sites?
Without using the internet, it'd probably be a lot different. Probably be outside more, hanging out with people and talking to them instead of talking to them over a computer screen.
Do you think it's a problem that you talk to more people over the internet than people in real life?
I don't see it as a problem. No.
Do you think other people view it as a problem?
It depends on the person, but I would imagine yes, there's some people out there that believe that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think social media affects how you communicate with others?
Yes.
Has it changed your way of communicating?
Has it changed my way of communicating? No.
Okay. I need to come up with like one more question, and I just can't freaking think of anything. Hold on. Alright, I guess that's it.
Okay.
Alright, so just save that and send it to me.